just so you'll know, I'm Dad's son. Those of you who may not know. Anyway, I'd like to make a speech, and I've had to prepare something because there's a lot of things that we want to say, and this is all from the kids. And,
I didn't let it.
No, but I'm sure you'll be pleased. Okay, so this is basically about Dad and how the family feel about Dad. So a bit of background, growing up in the Sharkey family, we spent many years living mostly in Lidcombe, around, in Lidcombe Hospital where Dad worked as an anaesthesiologist, and then home was shortly thereafter. In my opinion, and also the kids' opinion, Dad had one of those professions that in modern terms would be described as incredibly difficult and extremely time-consuming. It's one of those professions that I don't think there's many people that could actually do what Dad does. It requires a real dedicated person to do it, as well as being extremely time-consuming. Now, the commitment, to being an anaesthesiologist, especially in the public system, is extremely demanding. I recall, Dad putting in hours that I wouldn't even dread to do, and also Dad's colleagues and friends, that we grew up with, over the years. And then when you mix that, with bringing up a family, it's probably one of the hardest jobs that I could even imagine. Anna and I don't have kids, and I'm a professional. I work extremely long hours myself. But to consider what Dad and Mum for that matter, what they have done over, for us over the years, it's overwhelming. Now, I'll put another perspective to this as well, and Dad has achieved some things in his professional career, which we, the family, are just incredibly proud of. We probably never say it, but we are. And some of those things are that, and so you consider that before Joanne and Angela and I were even born, Dad had achieved some most incredible results in his chosen profession. Some of those were, and I probably haven't got all of them, but I believe I've got the ones that probably speak the loudest. And they're things like, a Bachelor of Medicine and a Bachelor of Surgery in 1951. He was, admitted as a fellow of the faculty of anaesthesia. I can still not say it. 43 years. But you know what I'm saying, right? And that was in 1961. Joe was married. Joe was born in 1963. I was born in 1965, and Ange was... Thank you.
A while later.
The memory, Angela will remember. She's younger than I am. But also, a couple of other very important things were that Dad was also the dux of his school, which I actually didn't know. Truth be known, but to even achieve that alone is something, And then there's even one more thing, which is probably more incredible, not incredible, but amazing, is to say that Dad won the Renton Prize, which is, I believe, something to do with the highest marks within... Angela, you probably know a little bit more than I do, but he achieved that.
First exam sitting, primary exam for specialist anaesthetists.
Right.
#1, top of his class, Sydney University.
And that was in 1959. I mean, so, goodness me.
And for Angela, because she could pronounce it.
We all share the glory, I suppose.
We're proud.
Yeah, and we're extremely proud, and so we recognise those achievements, as the family. Now, of course, as a key part of that, Dad basically, and Mum for that matter, but, in a nutshell, Dad set a foundation, and a very solid foundation, in which to bring up a family. As you probably all know, it's incredibly difficult just to even do that in today's day and age. There's so many challenges. When I look at what we were given as the foundation as children, we couldn't have had it better, to be quite frank. And then when you consider also Dad's commitment, and love to us, it was unwavering and irrespective of circumstance and situation. For those that know me, I probably don't need to say much more than that. But it's so honourable, and that's something that we actually lack in today's society, is honour. Now, we have some amazing memories, that even though we don't talk about, we certainly remember them. Now, if I were to try and just summarise, you know, our dad, you know, Brian, just in a couple of choice terms and words, those would be that we would use words and terms like loving, integrity, trust, voice of sanity and guiding force. There's some of the, you know, and they're principles that, you know, Dad instilled in us as children, you know, as did Mum. So I'm not leaving Mum out of this, but this is about Dad. I don't want to make you feel like you're left out, Mum. But, you know, and in a nutshell, look, you know, and I'm getting towards the end of this, but, you know, this is basically what we've learnt up. Sorry, this is what we've learnt growing up. It's the red wine, you know, and it's what really makes us, you know, what we are today as adults. You know, it's basically instilled within our fabric, and I for one really appreciate it. You know, there's been certainly some trials and tribulations over the years, but goodness me, I don't reckon I'd be where I am if it wasn't for people like Dad and Mum and the rest of the family. Now, I really don't have enough words to describe it, but you know, we love Dad, and we're very proud. So, with that in mind, I'd like to raise the glass to Dad.
Dad.
Cheers, Dad.
You had enough.
Dad.
No, Mum's trying. Mum's trying. So, Dad, from us and the family, you know, we love you. Thank you. Right. Yeah, now we're going to go. Now, just on that, so we also thought that we'd open it up for other people to, you know, have a say or two about, you know, their feelings and Ange?
No one has to speak who doesn't want to, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to last. But certainly Matthew Tasman and I are so happy to be here, and
we're happy to have you.
I'm going to do this.
I'm not.
I'll give you right. Charlotte, if I can do it, you can.
I was crying last night just looking at photos, so don't ask me to talk.
Just, it's not often that children take the time to really thank their parents. And thank you for our private educations. Thank you for our lovely home. Thank you for your guidance, and thank you for sitting up late helping me study for tests. Thanks for making me go to uni when I didn't want to. Yes, thanks for making me play the violin. Those things that I thought you didn't know what you were talking about at the time, and you both did. And Dad, you're the best dad. I just love you.
It's amazing what you learn.
Matthew, did you want to say something?
Well, I want to say that Brendan has also helped me as I'm his grandson, and he just taught me something just algebra. And he taught me a lot of stuff. He also helped me learn how to read when I was little. So I agree that he's the best grandfather I've
Say something? What would you like to say, sweetie? Anything, sweetie? Would you like to come and sit with me and say something? Yeah, I'll help you. Not only that. Not only that.
Thank you, Tassie.
The best granddad Tasman ever had. Okay, if anyone else would like to say something, just please have a go. Okay. No.
Rachel's going to talk.
It's not over that easy, Dad.
Not getting out.
For those who don't know me, I'm Brian's sister. And I think Brian had a bit of practice with raising children with me because he's went